Hey, 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 ladies, welcome. Welcome to day 3 of the Prosperous Frequency Challenge. Oh my goodness, I've actually had so much fun, guiding you ladies through the awareness and the identity piece. And I'm really, really excited for things to start clicking because now you're not just thinking differently, right? Today, you're going to learn how to feel differently. So welcome to day 3 of the Prosperity Frequency Challenge. If you've missed any part of this challenge, go back and re-listen to days 1 and day 2. You can find them here inside the Alpha Queens Rising community, or if you are following our Alpha Queen Collective YouTube channel, you can, of course, find all of those video replays there as well. That's Alpha Queen Collective on YouTube. So yes, welcome into day 3, ladies. And, like I said, day 1 was all around awareness. Okay. We cannot change what we are not aware of. So awareness is the key to all transformation. That's where the starting point really begins. Then we talked about our biggest limiting beliefs around wealth and money and prosperous lives. Right? We talked about that yesterday, and I guided you through a very, very powerful meditation that helped you not only become aware of these beliefs, but also helped you let go of those beliefs. And then I encouraged you to start thinking about some new thoughts, empowering thoughts that you could say to start to replace the old habit of the old way of thinking. So an example would every time if you think that your coaching program services, let me give you a different one. If you think that making money is hard and becoming financially free is hard, if you think becoming debt free is hard, your subconscious mind will always find a way to make it hard. Right. And so sometimes we see self-sabotage, self-betrayal happening. And these are in the most subtle ways, guys. It's in your decisions. It's in those micro movements every day. So we don't even realize we are self-betraying or self-sabotaging in this area. But you'll always find a way to, mess things up, or if you're always struggling with money, you'll always find a way to a way to making it struggle, right? Maybe you're someone who's like, you always say that. And then all of a sudden, a month later, your car breaks down. And you're like, oh, there goes saving, right? So your brain is wired and you are operating based on the wiring that your current program or your current conditioning is to believe to be true, right? And you created those beliefs and you started to learn all of this conditioning back when you were a child. We learned all of this over the last couple of days, guys. So I'm just giving you a very high level review. But I encouraged you to think every time I think it's so hard to make money. Your goal is to take that thought, swap it away, and replace it with a new empowered thought. And yes, it's not going to happen overnight because let's face it, you've probably been believing those old stories, that old conditioning for decades. If you always watch your parents struggle with money and you've always struggled with money, then of course we're breaking the habit of you thinking that you have to struggle with money. Okay, so you're going to have to get into the habit of thinking, oh my gosh, money comes easy to me. Like everything always works out for me. Money is like magnetized to me, right? Like we have to create a new empowering thought. And every time we swap it, all of a sudden our neurological, like our brain, it's called neuroplasticity, starts to believe and develop a new belief, which is why it's so incredibly important to continue the shifts, the mindset shifts, the mindset tweaking. It's why it's so important to work with a coach who will always call those mind shifts out, because we don't hear ourselves saying them all the time until you become consciously aware of these thoughts, which is why yesterday was so incredibly powerful. So awareness, limiting beliefs, right? AKA success blockers, keeping you from making lots of money and becoming a wealth circulator and a prosperous woman. So today we're going to talk about how emotion and feeling actually affect our money mindset, right? The ability to attract prosperity into our lives. Because here's the truth. Your energy is everything. Not in a vague way, but in a very real, grounded way. Your emotional state of being determines how you show up, how you speak, how you sell, how you lead, how you make money, how you save money, all of it, right? So if you are in a stressed out state and your body is in a survival mode, it is going to be really hard to attract abundance and opportunities your way. Okay. So your emotional state of being really does matter when it comes to attracting and becoming a prosperous, woman and a frequency beam for everything that you want. Okay. And ultimately, this is what you attract. Okay. How you speak to yourself, what you think, the feelings that you're constantly feeling, that's what we attract. What we focus on grows. You've probably heard that saying, right? Where your energy goes, or where your energy goes, energy flows. So if you're constantly focused on how broke you are, constantly focused how sales are not coming in, constantly focused how the debt is always piling up, that is exactly what you are going to attract more of. So your thoughts and your feelings are so important for you breaking up with the old stories, breaking that conditioning, and reprogramming your mindset for a healthy money mindset. Okay. And it can happen overnight. I'm not even going to say that it can't. I have seen miracles happen where women I have worked with have literally shifted a belief, and then the next day they're on to like making $10, $20, $30,000. It's like almost like they never even struggled with this thing before, because that's the power of the modalities that I'm trained in, right? The healing powers and the mindset magic woo stuff that I do with my clients. So it has the ability to completely change you in a matter of a day or an hour or whatever, right? It's a different perspective shift. But sometimes you need reps, right? To build the muscle, right? If we want big, strong muscles, we have to go to the gym every day. We have to build the muscles every single day. You got to feed the muscle so that the muscle builds. Same thing with your brains. Okay. So when your thoughts and your energy have everything to do with your bank account. So if you're broke, look at your thoughts, look at your energy, and look at what you focus on. So there's a concept from a gentleman, obviously, that I follow. He's definitely long and gone by now, but some of the work that he is known for, his name is Neville Goddard. And he said that feeling is the secret to creating anything that you desire. Feeling, meaning it's not just what you think, it's what you truly feel. And as women, I feel a lot of us grew up believing that we had to shove our feelings and our emotions down to somehow prove our worth. Like, we don't have time for this shit right now. Or when I was a little girl, right, another limiting belief was, Carissa, pain is inexistent, right? Just shove that down, get back up, right? We would tape my ankles up as a gymnast, and they would say, get back out there. You don't feel these pains. You don't feel sad. You don't feel alone. You don't feel whatever. And my entire life, I was told to shove these feelings and emotions down: fear, scarcity, sadness, loneliness, isolation, rejection, all of it. We were taught to shove it down. And so it's no wonder we have a hard time feeling all the feels now, because we've been training our bodies and our systems to shove it down, when in fact, Novell says, feeling is the secret sauce to becoming a prosperous person. You can feel your way to success, okay? Because feelings, emotions create energy. And when we are in a good state of energy and our frequency is high and we're constantly looking for all of these good things, right? When we feel good, we attract good. We attract more of what we want. Most women are living in an emotional pattern, what I call an emotional home, a default state that they keep returning to. So for some, it's stress. For some, it's doubt, overwhelm, scarcity. And even when things start to go really well, they subconsciously return to that baseline of comfort, right? So today, we're going to upgrade your emotional home. The prosperous woman, she doesn't live in chaos. She lives in calm. She lives in certainty, grounded power, receptivity, right? A prosperous woman trusts herself. She trusts the process. She understands that the universe, God's source, power, right? The outside power outside of her is always supporting her. She knows that it's not about the end goal, but it's about who she becomes in that process. Therefore, she trusts the process. She knows things are working even when she doesn't see the proof. That is part of an identity of a very prosperous woman. I don't do stress. I try and operate really out of a calm, certain state. I don't react when people trigger the F out of me. I internalize it, I work on it, and then I interact, right? I'm not reactive. And I deeply trust in the process. I trust myself to make good decisions. I always know that things are working out for me. And this shows up in little things, right? Like when I go shopping, guys, I don't look for price tags. I look for how I feel in an outfit. When I go to dinner, I don't look at what's the cheapest the thing on the menu. I go for what my body is craving. And I get it. I used to not be that woman. I used to literally order things off of a menu or buy things off of the sale cart because my mind, my body, my life, I was entirely trained to find sales and to go shopping at a Goodwill, and that money is not going to be available to me very easy, right? Like I grew up with all of these money stories just like you. I just learned how to train my brain, train my energy, train my frequency, and ultimately live in the frequency of abundance. Okay. So today's frequency mindset activation is it's another guided meditation, and I'm going to ask that you get really grounded and anchored in here in just a moment. But I want to just stop and check in. Is this making sense? Right? Frequency is kind of like a radio station. Let's pretend that you want to listen to country and that country music is on 103.7. But your radio dial is set to 99.9, the oldies, right? Not that the oldies of the country is even better than the other, but I'm saying if you want country, there is no way, shape, or no way possible you are going to get country music, today's country hits on oldies, the golden oldies. Okay. You are not going to get today's country hits on the golden oldies station. So what do we have to do? We have to turn the frequency. How we churn our frequency, how we stay in an empowered frequency state is through EFT tapping, meditation, hypnotherapy, relaxation, calm, peace, joy, happiness, right? Which is why I say always do things that make you happy. Happy is an ROI. Because I'm so happy, I can honestly tell you I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars because I am a happy woman. There was once a time I was not a happy woman. There was once a time all I felt was anger and sadness and guilt and shame and resentment. And now I'm in this happy state. Don't get me wrong, I'm a human. I still feel anger. I just choose not to live in it, right? I feel it. I process it. I ask myself, what is this emotion here to teach me? Because it's not that anger is bad. I mean, without my anger, I probably would have never survived my traumatic childhood living with a schizophrenic bipolar brother. My anger became my protective shield. So it's no wonder for the next 2 decades of my life, I was such an angry girl. That was part of my identity. But the anger, living in a state of anger all the time and sadness and guilt and shame and resentment actually was putting my frequency down. Okay, so everything that we desire is happening already. It's already happened. You have to tune the frequency to be able to get onto that track. Okay, so again, I want to just pause and ask you, what is landing for you? Go ahead and comment below. Like, when you're hearing this, what are you noticing about yourself? Okay. What type of state of being emotionally are you do you tend to be in? Are you in survival, stressed out all the time? Or are you in, happiness, joy, abundance, gratitude all the time? Because when you're in gratitude, abundance, love, and joy, it's really hard to be in a negative mindset. Like, it's kind of like no one can rain on my parade. That's how I think. Because I'm like, oh my God, I just don't even see negative things in the world. But I've also tuned things out. I've let go of a lot of negative people, right? I've detoxed shit from my life. I've made some hard decisions because I know that I have to protect my energy, because energy is currency. It's frequency. Everything that I desire happens on the other side of that scale, right? Happiness, abundance, gratitude, joy. When we go into anger, sadness, mad, all the things, it's not, again, they're not bad. They're there to tell us something. So if you feel anger, if you feel sadness, if you have resentment, if you feel a lot of isolation or loneliness, right? Or judgment or comparison, all of those, if you're feeling it, ask yourself, why am I feeling so much of this? What is the root cause? What is driving me to feel like this? And look at it as an opportunity to learn something about yourself. Okay. So now that we have some information, right? Everything is information. Emotions are information. Your body is constantly telling you and giving you signals. It's kind of like if you're stressed, your hair starts falling out. You maybe have some skin issues. If you're nervous or excited or fearful, your armpits start sweating. If your mouth is watering, you're probably looking at your favorite meal and you're like, oh my God, it's gonna be so good, right? Like your body sends these signals all the time. So does your emotions. Okay. So the best and the easiest way to get yourself back into a high frequency, a frequency of prosperous abundance, all of it. Guided meditation is one of the easiest ways that I do this. Easiest. And this is exactly why I start my day with a spiritual practice, not my gym day, right? I start my work day in a very grounded, peaceful state of being. When I say being, it's who I be, right? It's a state of being. It's a state of living. So many people have been living in a state of chaos, a state of stress, a state of confusion, that's all they get more of. Okay. And I've done a lot of work on myself, guys. I've healed a lot of wounds, a lot of trauma. If you don't know any of my story, I want to encourage you to go and listen to my stories. I've been through all of it. And I've come out on the other side. And I'm telling you, I've tapped into the frequency of prosperity. And this guided meditation will help you do that now. So with that, go ahead and find yourself in a nice quiet place. Do not drive while listening to this. Do not multitask. In fact, give yourself permission just to settle in. Right? Just find a nice, comfortable place. Uncross your feet, uncross your arms, palms facing up, ready to receive. When it feels good, I invite you to just close your eyes and just start to focus on your body. Just maybe notice where your body is feeling tension or stress. And then just use your breath to ease that stress out of the body. Every breath in, notice where that tension is, but every exhale out, feel that tension leave the body. See that tension and that stress and that worry and that anxious energy just leave the body and into the room and out the door, out the window. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Breathing in and breathing out. Yes, wonderful. Just like that. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. Good. Just now notice yourself noticing that you are relaxing. And just notice how you choose to relax. Maybe your shoulders drop. Maybe you stop fidgeting. Maybe your thoughts start to slow down. Just notice yourself noticing that you're slowing down, consciously aware of being conscious. Now, bring your conscious awareness to your heart. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Imagine your chest expanding with light, warm, safe, steady. For this is your power center. Now, begin to feel gratitude. Notice one thing or someone or something about you that you are incredibly grateful for. Maybe it's how this person makes you feel. Maybe it's how this person has supported you. Maybe it's a part of you that is, it's a skill like resilience or confidence, whatever part of you that you can be grateful for. Just really focus your energy, attention on gratitude for this thing, for this you, or for this person. Breathing in gratitude And breathing out appreciation. Good. Now, I want you to bring your awareness to your heart center. And as your heart center is expanding again, I want you to feel this beautiful light right inside your heart. For this light is now representing confidence, the most confident version of you, the most energetic, confident being that you can possibly be. At one point, you felt incredibly confident. So just tap into the feelings of confidence right now. Notice how you act when you're confident. Notice how you feel. Notice the energy that you put off. Notice the happier, more confident people you attract. Good. Now I want you to bring your awareness back to your heart center. And as you're breathing in, I want you to breathe in certainty. Certainty that everything that you want is already coming to you. It's already attracting itself to you like a magnet. Know without a doubt that you will become prosperous, that you will become healthy and wealthy and confident and grateful in a high frequency, an attractor. You are a super attractor. Just really breathe in certainty and breathe out. And now, as you take a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, just let all of this energy grow. Gratitude is growing, confidence, certainty, appreciation, confidence, certainty, love, certainty, confidence, gratitude. That's right. Allow it to expand throughout your entire body. And just begin to notice your energy is shifting. And just like a dial on the radio, let's go ahead and tune the frequency into the most abundant version of you. She is healthy, she is wealthy, she is free to be her, she is authentically her, expressing herself with just the most confident, prosperous energy. Just tuning that dial, really feeling the feels, tuning it up, allowing this frequency to rise within you. Good. And you know the sound of Tupperware when it locks into place? Lock it in. For this is a frequency you can come back to at any point in time, or you can just stay here vibing at this high frequency. The choice is yours. But recognize that you have the choice to return to a prosperous frequency any time that you desire. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, just like that. And when you're ready, I invite you to come back into your body, back into the room that you're in, wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe rolling your shoulders back, feeling the energy and the frequency in the room. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes wide awake, wide alert. Welcome back, frequenciers, prosperous women. Incredible. You should be very proud of yourself. This feels so good, doesn't it? I don't even want to leave this beautiful abundant space energy. And the good thing is I don't have to. This is the energy I live in every single day. So now, with that energy flowing through our bodies, let me give you your journal prompts for the day. So here are 3 journal prompts, and again, I will put them in the chat below. What does the prosperous version of you feel like daily? What does the most wealthiest woman, the most healthiest version of you feel like on a daily basis? So just close your eyes and answer that, right? How does she feel knowing that she has unlimited prosperous power within her? What emotions do you choose to lead with as a prosperous woman? And what are the thoughts that will elevate you instantly? Those are your journal prompts that I want you to take some powerful time with and reflect on. Your homework today is to write down 5 emotions that match your prosperous identity and then practice activating them. And how you activate them is you choose one emotion and you fully embody it for 60 seconds. Right? So you sit up nice and tall, you breathe in, you feel that energy, right? So maybe it's confidence or wealth or freedom, right? Whatever that emotion is, I want you to activate it by feeling it for 60 seconds at least. That's all you need to activate this feeling. Okay? So with that, tomorrow, we're going to bring this into action because alignment without action doesn't create results. Remember, we have to take action. So, day 4 is where we're going to become the future version of you. All right? We're going to become her. We're going to burn the old identity down and rise up the new one. I will see you there. And again, as always, like this video, comment on this video, subscribe if you're over on our YouTube page watching it, share this video with a friend. And if you missed any part of day 1 or day 2, go back and watch it because each video also has a mindset activation in it and they're powerful. Okay. All right, my lovely queens, I hope you have a beautiful day. Go enjoy this awesome energy running through your veins. You're welcome. See you tomorrow.